out here in the Cambridge area doing an interview for Magic 8 Records. So, tell me a little bit about Pretty Late.
Yeah, so Pretty Late was founded, over 10 years ago now. My fiance, Mike, started out with a drummer and another guitarist just in his mom's basement of sorts, so very rustic in that way.
No, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so about 10 years ago they started playing, and then I actually joined in probably 5 years into them playing, and
Oh, sweet.
started giving them vocal lessons at first, which was really fun.
Okay.
To have them kind of explore that in a more classical way, and then just kind of naturally found myself in the front of the band after a little while. So
That's awesome. And you guys just released an album, right?
we did, yep. In the end of 2021, we released an album. It's called Better Late Than Never. It's on all of the platforms.
Yeah,
Spotify,
I listened
Apple
to the whole
Music.
album.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it sounded
Cheers.
great.
Thank you.
Where did you record the album?
So we recorded locally in Cambridge at a studio called Ugly Duck Studio.
Yeah. The Ugly
Yeah.
Duck Studio is really awesome. I love them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they actually just opened up. They got a new location. I think the building that we were in, they actually closed.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but it was interesting because it was during COVID, and the world kind of was shut down, and we just had compiled so many songs, even more than what's on the album, that we were just kind of sitting through, and we're like, all right, well, we have this kind of closure and downtime, might as well record. So so we found our tech. His name's Eric Alpert. Shout out to Eric. He was great.
Yeah.
Just kind of connected online, and and then was able to head into this space. He was great, kind of really flexible with hours. So it was a great experience over that way. I would definitely recommend them.
So with your music, I feel like when I listen to you guys, it's a very eclectic sort of mix of different genres. It does have a lot of emo, pop, punk influences. I think that there's a good combination of fusional genres.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's very hard to put us in one category. I feel that we really like to expose and create organically in that way, that it's just kind of whatever we're jamming on, and then we find shape and form. We really don't exclude really any ideas, which is fun, and it's really great to be working with all the guys in that way. So yeah.
How is the songwriting process with you guys? Can you describe it?
Yeah, so a lot of our first album, a lot of the songs on there, again, I joined the band a bit of a ways in, so many of the songs were written collaboratively with the three founding members, which is Mike Young, we call him Mike, my fiance, Mike Nealand, as well as Rob Sacchetti. So between the three of them, again, it was just kind of, in the basement, hanging out during different times of their life, points of being in school, venturing into like the workforce, dropping out of school, just kind of finding themselves in a sort of way. And I would say our music that we're writing collaboratively together now is, we're really kind of sitting down, and again, it's still very organic. So kind of starting with an instrumental riff or a melody, and then just kind of building off of that. We do a lot of practices where we literally just record on our phone the entire session and then pick apart what we like, kind of dive into it that way. So, initially, all of the music was written by mostly Mike Nealand, with a couple of songs from Mike, and Rob, and combinations in between. So
it's amazing how voice memos are a useful tool in everything.
Yes, I know. It's funny nowadays. It's just like, what would we do without our phones? But it's been great in that way. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, I always ask people this, but because I ask people this, I want them to know, what are the 3 top venues that you would perform in Boston, in Cambridge?
Yeah. So I would probably say, I know out this way we've performed at the Middle East.
Middle East.
Goodness, thank you.
Yeah.
And then Sonia, which is connected right next door.
Right.
We actually played a mini fest of sorts there, which was really fun. A lot of different fusion of music. So it was great. I think there was about 12 different acts that night, which was awesome. That's great. And then a little bit further, it's not in Cambridge, but we've worked really well with the Midway Cafe, as well as
Jamaica Plain.
Yep, Jamaica
JP,
Plain.
I love JP. Shout out to Midway Cafe.
Whoop, whoop. And then the Jungle as well.
The Jungle. And all of these places are in very almost artistic areas of Boston, in which I don't think a lot of people really explore the artist scene here. But it's beautiful, it's amazing, and the people that I've met have really made it to their own little artesian, craft. I think that Boston is just eclectic in its own right.
It is, and I feel that, even post-COVID, a lot of the venues closed or weren't able to kind of continue due to one reason or another. So it really is like a community of sorts that you find. I think when we first started playing inner city, we really found that it was a network of kind of like a small bunch of venues that really were kind of holding the music scene together in this, in this area. So appreciative to play at all of those places. They're great and really just looking for fresh, new music, always welcoming to new artists, which is always great.
It feeds into the culture of things, I think that's so important when talking about music. Music is such a big part of culture. I also want to ask you a little bit about what's your favorite sort of chord progression or chord? Because this is a music interview. So I like to add music theory into it.
Very good.
So what is your favorite chord progression or chord that you like to write a lot of the time?
I would say personally for me, I really like, I find myself in the key of F sharp minor a lot.
F sharp minor. Yeah.
I just, nice. I don't know. I find harmonies within there that I really enjoy. So I definitely, whenever I'm just kind of on my piano and fiddling around, I always kind of gravitate towards there for one reason or another.
How about the band?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know that we per se have a key or a chord. Again, I think it's more organic.
Okay.
I don't think that we limit ourselves, but I feel that just thinking off the top of my head, I feel like a lot of our songs are either in the key of E, F sharp minor,
okay,
C, G.
I would say my favorite personally is, I think, B flat, and I don't know why. I don't know.
Just resonates with you.
It just resonates with me. B flat minor or major, both of them. But that's pretty much all the questions. Oh, there is one more question. Okay, what DAW do you guys like to prefer to use when recording music? Is it Pro Tools, Ableton? Or
I think majority was Ableton that we used.
Okay. On the record.
Yes.
Ableton. Okay.
Yep. On the record. Yep. But again, don't quote me on that, because I would have to fact check with our tech. He was great. We really weren't even really focused on that at that point. So I'd have to look back, but I'm pretty sure it was Ableton.
Okay. Great.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved the record. I loved what you guys did with it. I was listening to it while like also like reading books, and it's just so amazing. There's a lot of stories also within the lyrics. I'm guessing most of it is about like heartbreak, but like also love, and I think also kind of like a tragedy in some songs. Do you agree?
I do.
Yeah.
I feel that a lot of the songs were written at a time where a lot of us were, finding ourselves, kind of stepping into adulthood. Of course, that comes with like physical loss, losing a side of who you were to step into someone else, that you're wanting to be. So yeah, I would agree with that. I feel like you definitely hit on a few different items that a couple of the songs we tend to write story style. So
Good, yeah.
I'm glad that it resonated with you like that.
Yeah,
though, so.
absolutely. All right. Well, now here's the Magic 8.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you this, and I'm going to ask you to ask the Magic 8 a question. You can say the question out loud or in your head or afterwards.
Okay.
Shake the Magic 8 ball whenever you're ready.
Okay. Unlikely.
What was the question, if you don't mind me asking?
So I asked if I was going to get a ticket because I actually parked
Oh, unlikely.
in a 1 hour spot.
luck.
So
Yeah.
we're really hoping that the Magic 8 Ball
Well,
is
that's a great
accurate.
answer.
I was like, oh, great. I'll take it.
Awesome. I'm glad it wasn't a bad answer. I'm glad it wasn't you will get fined this amount. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here and doing this interview today. It was pretty awesome to talk with you, and I really hope the best for your band.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.